So today I'm talking about the Sonic 3 movie with my friend who's been on the channel before, Cassie!
What's up, homies?
We were gonna meet up to talk about the movie earlier, but there were some personal issues just in life, and we just weren't able to meet up, so we're doing it now instead.
Yeah.
Since it's been so long, we're gonna go over the whole plot. The movie starts off with Sonic racing with his friends, but there's a secret surprise party since it's been a year, I think, since he came to Earth. However, some agents show up who were apparently in the second Sonic movie, which I never saw. I saw the first one, but I
saw the second one.
Okay.
It's basically the agents that were in the second one came and asked Sonic and his friends for help because Shadow was terrorizing Tokyo.
Also, we really like the joke where Sonic is like, okay guys, we're either gonna see Hello Kitty or Godzilla down there. Of course, Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic utterly fail at defeating Shadow.
Get dunked on, fool!
Dejected, they go to a cafe and two girls come up to Tails and they're like,
You look like Detective Pikachu. And Knuckles proceeds to say, haha, you too! Pika Pika!
They are interrupted when some of Robotnik's robots, or what looks like his technology, show up and destroy the place. Commander Walters, who was with them, ends up dying, but he gives them a key card, which Sonic immediately loses to Shadow. They end up partnering with Dr. Robotnik, though, since his technology has been stolen, and he's not happy about that. So they go to the place where Shadow was looking for him. There's a flashback with Shadow and Maria, and how Maria gave Shadow a reason to live, and how that reason to live because of her was taken away from him when she died. Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, Robotnik, and Agent Stone arrive there at the science laboratory. That's it. Laboratory where Shadow was being held. They all split up and Robotnik finds his grandfather there, who was also played by Jim Carrey. And there's a little fourth wall break there, which I loved.
And I have to say, they did it perfectly, having Jim Carrey play two different people, and him breaking the fourth wall just put everything into perspective with how funny the movie is.
Robotnik turns on Sonic and his friends, and then they think, well, Robotnik and his grandfather and Shadow think that they've killed Sonic, but they actually escape to Tom and Maddie.
AKA Donut Lord and Pretzel Lady.
They use Maddie and Tom's help in order to get into gun headquarters to try to get the second key card. And of course, Robotnik and his grandfather are also there trying to get the key card.
In the process of the two Robotniks trying to get the key card, there were dance movements to get to it. They had these suits that would reflect the lasers, and it was a disco party for them.
Hijinks ensue, but Tom is able to get the key card by disguising himself as Commander Walters and pretending to be alive. But Shadow sees him and attacks Commander Walters because he's at fault for what Shadow had to go through at the laboratory and what happened to Maria. Shadow super punches Tom, leaving him very hurt, and then all of a sudden, I hear...
And then I look next to me, and I see this.
Because Shadow severely injured Tom, Sonic is very upset and he asks Knuckles to tell him where the Master Emerald is. So meanwhile, the Robotniks and Shadow are going to destroy the Earth, but Sonic comes because he has the Master Emerald and Shadow goes to fight him. Though Robotnik learns that his grandfather is planning to destroy the entire planet, which would also destroy them as well in the process, instead of ruling the planet, which is what Robotnik really wants. Shadow and Sonic continue fighting, but they eventually team up to try to stop Robotnik's grandfather, while Robotnik and Knuckles and Tails try to do the same thing. They end up defeating Robotnik's grandfather, but Shadow and Robotnik die in the process.
I cry again.
Everything seemingly returns back to normal with Sonic racing with his friends again like he did at the beginning of the movie, but in a post-credits scene, Sonic runs too far, and then the Metal Sonics come out and Amy defeats them. So, Sonic 4 with Amy. And there's also a second post-credit scene where it shows that Shadow might not actually be dead. And there's a theory that he saved Robotnik, which I really hope is true.
Yes, because without Robotnik, Stone is a sad baby.
Now to get onto our thoughts about the movie. The first thing I want to talk about is how when Shadow said, "I am the ultimate life form."
No, she started fangirling, guys. It was crazy. I look over and she's like, "Ah!" And
I love Shadow.
She's a furry, guys.
I'm not a furry! No, but because whenever Sonic said gotta go fast, we both started fangirling. It was kind of embarrassing, and I feel bad for anybody who was in that theater with us then. I love the movie, but I hope in Sonic 4 there's more Sonic and Shadow moments, because I really like their dynamic.
It's basically like the sun and moon dynamic. One is just bright and bubbly, and the other's just like depressed because of trauma. Suicide Squad.
No. Speaking of which, I was really surprised with the themes of this movie because it's still a kids' movie. I didn't think it would get so dark. Because if you look at the underlying tones with like how Shadow and Robotnik's grandfather were fully ready to destroy the entire Earth, including themselves, just because of what happened to Maria. But in a way, I'm still glad that it was kept in there and they just kind of let go for these movies, especially since I'm glad that the human actors were in there so much. Not because I don't like Tom or Maddie, but in the first movie, the acting of the live action acting was a little cringe, not to be rude.
Because basically it's their first time trying something like this, and to be honest, the first time they tried to make Sonic, he looked very terrifying. He looked like that fox from like the car commercial ad thing.
But yeah, that's all we have to say for this movie. We liked it a lot, and we really can't wait for Sonic 4 2027 cannot come fast enough.
Pika Pika.
Laboratory. Yeah. That's it. Laboratory where Sonic used to... Shadow used to be held! I was doing so well!
She had a crush on Nick Wilder.
No! It's Nick Wilde! And
Whatever!
I liked him because of his personality, not because he's a fox.
You sure? You're doubting, you stuttered! Ha